I like to go back in time.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie. Welcome to Not Just a Home Thing, a podcast by Two Pages. Today I'm joined by Rebecca. Hi Rebecca.
Hi.
Hi. Rebecca is a surface pattern designer and mother of three. As we explore how creation and everyday life can live side by side. Before we dive in, let's start with a few quick and easy questions. First, your name.
My name is Rebecca Hughes, and I'm a surface pattern designer from Utah.
Could you use three words to describe yourself?
Oh, this one's always tough for me. Sometimes it's hard to know how to describe myself, but I think the three words I would use would be creative, devoted, and rooted. And so those are just kind of my goals for myself. I would hope that those describe me.
And one small thing that made you smile this week.
Oh, our littlest guy is crawling now. He just started crawling, so he's kind of into everything and it's just so fun. And he's exploring the world around him. I love seeing it. So that has brought us a lot of joy this week, just seeing him crawl around and do his thing and follow his older siblings around. It's been really
I
fun.
like to go back in time.
And if you had to describe home in one sentence, what would it be and why?
For me, home means a safe place, a haven. It's the place where we invite others in for conversation and fellowship, and where I hope our children feel that same sense of belonging and security.
Yeah, I can feel that. And right now, I'm actually back in my birthplace, Taiyuan, Shanxi, home in China, for the Chinese New Year. I came back to spend
I
time
love
with
that.
thank you. I just spend time with my parents to eat the simple home cooked foods they make, and I feel so happy. There's a deep sense of safety.
Yeah, I love that. And I think just it seems like all around cultures, all around the world, just find um, companionship around food and home and fellowship. So I love hearing that.
I go back in time.
And may I ask what draws you to creating in kitchen, the most active but sometimes noisy base, rather than a quiet schedule corner?
I think because our kitchen is the heart of our home, it's where all the activity and life happens. I love to bake and make healthy food options for my kids that will nourish their growing bodies. And it feels fitting that my own creativity has blossomed in the same spot. So I gather so much inspiration from being with my family and taking care of my kids. Practically speaking, I'm a busy mom of three kids, so sometimes creativity is not a smooth, linear process for me, and it's not a quiet, secluded spot, although I love when I get those opportunities as well. It's messy and chaotic, and it's creating in the margins here and there when I have space and availability during nap times and after bedtime and when the house gets quiet. And so I think so many moms can relate to that, where we make time to do what we love. And that's a both and situation where our kids are our little loves, and going along with that, we find the beauty and the energy to create. And both of those things bring such joy and fulfillment.
Yeah. And to be honest, I feel I'm so fortunate. I'm so lucky to have two pages plotting to create this podcast. It gave me a space to bring my own question, curiosities, and even some confusion from life and growth to share, to listen, and to have meaningful conversation with you guys. And then to return to everyday life with small, open, and gentle heart.
I like to go back in time. When the
Do you feel that kitchen often holds the most honest, alive energy in a home?
This is such an interesting question to think about. I do feel like so much energy begins here. My kids love to help me cook, and I love knowing that I'm teaching them skills that they will use later in life. And also, we're preparing food together that we eat at the table. And while we talk about our day, we enjoy that food together. So, when we invite friends and family into our home, the conversations that we have often take place in the kitchen. So I do truly feel like it is the hub of the home where I hope others feel invited in and cared for as well. And yes, sometimes that looks messy, especially with the kitchen, right? But I think that goes back to the creative process because I believe the best creativity is messy and not always neat and tied up with a perfect bow. So I think that's beautiful that life mirrors art in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, I still remember the way my parents patiently taught me to make dumpling. Do you know dumpling?
Yes, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, it's a kind of Chinese traditional food, and I love it
Yeah,
too. Yeah, and now I grew up and work far from home in another country. But whenever I start to miss home, I will cook some simple dishes from my hometown.
I love that you still remember how to make them and still do that
Mhm.
um, years later. And I think that food can bring all those memories back, right?
I like to go back in time when the
And how do you think about focus? Do you believe it has to be quiet, enclosed, and linear?
I think before I had kids, I would have answered this differently. I had the freedom and ability to hone in on a task and give it my full attention for as long as I needed. And I still do really love to sit down with a nice latte and focus in on my list and knock things out. That's such a good feeling. But realistically, these days, I have to create my own focus inside my own mind. And it's not so much external factors that are creating the perfect environment for creativity, but rather, despite what's going on around me, I have to create a space for my creativity and art within the margins of everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's often not linear, I think.
Mm.
Some days are more productive than others, but that's just the stage of life that I'm in right now. And I've learned to find the beauty.
I like to go back in time when the
Is your creative process more about entering a state or continuously responding to life as it unfolds?
I think it's a little bit of both. The majority of time, I'm responding to life as it unfolds, and it's not always going to be that way. That's just the phase of life I'm in right now. And I want to be fully present for that life that is happening around me.
Mm.
There are times when, depending on what I'm working on, it's maybe a little bit harder to pop in and out of the creative process. And I need to be able to focus a little bit more time on learning a new skill or perfecting a pattern. So there are definitely points where I will carve out some time of quiet focus and productivity.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I feel it's always been a balance. And for me,
Yes.
for almost 4 years in Los Angeles, most of my days have been shaped by focus, by chasing opportunities, by moving forward. But sometimes at that speed, I forget how to live simply, especially when I get sick, feel anxious, or sometimes even don't feel like myself. I realize how much I need
Mm-hmm.
to step out of that high-speed rhythm to return to the texture of everyday life, to the ordinary moment of cooking, eating, and simple being.
I like to go back in time when the music was
And may I ask, how has becoming a mother shifted your creative perspective?
Becoming a mother has changed my creative perspective so much, maybe even completely. As a mother, there's so much beauty in the quiet moments of connection. But even more so, I try to find a beauty amidst the chaos and the messes. I look at my children and try to ask myself what's going on in their minds. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? What makes them unique and beautiful people? And so I really do believe that translates into my work. I'm always trying to notice those little moments and details and what makes a design unique and beautiful. And I think there's something so satisfying about art that's not perfect. I think the imperfections make it more real and engaging. And it all goes hand in hand, right? Our art is not separate from life for me, but I think it is a continuation and expression of it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I feel like after becoming a mother, creation is a deeper way of looking at life. And I can feel when we begin to see the beauty in imperfection, the line between art and life becomes something more natural.
I like to go back in time when the music was.
And what do you hope your children see in you?
I love this question because the fact that my children are around to witness every step of the journey makes it all just so much more raw and beautiful. And being their mom is my greatest privilege. And I hope they see a mom who is their friend and biggest supporter and someone who models how to love wholly and completely, whether that is caring for them or extending to my work and creativity. I hope it just encompasses all of life and is so evident to them.
And so sweet. Yeah, I can feel some grounded strength and make me feel like motherhood is less about perfection and more about gently living love through the choose of daily life. And maybe what children carry with them is now what we did right or wrong, but whether they feel all along deeply loved and truly supported.
Yeah, I definitely hope so. And that would be my hope that that's what they remember and what they carry through life with them.
I like to go back in time when the music.
And when your children one day look back on this home, what feeling do you hope stays with them the most?
Yeah, I hope they feel an overwhelming sense of belonging and safety. And this time when they're so young is a time of molding and growing. And my husband and I are constantly instilling in them the importance of values and faith. And so I hope they see those modeled out for them so tangibly. And within that, I hope that they just feel so loved and cherished and completely at home.
Oh, yes, that sense of belonging, of being loved, of being held remains in memory, actually, and become such a quiet, enduring strength as we step into the world.
I like to go back in time when the music.
Thank you, Rebecca. And thanks to Two Pages for spotting not just a home thing and for this gentle reminder that creation and life can grow together. I'm Natalie. See you next time.